Okay.
Just be honest and natural. Don't think that loads of people are watching, because there might only be
No,
one
no.
or two. Just like me and you having a chat.
Okay.
So I'm going to go live now. Thank you for doing this as well.
No problem.
It's nice so that everyone can see I'm not bullshitting. And it does work.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I could do with you saying that. Don't turn around and say, oh, shit.
No, I won't, honest.
No, I know. So let me just make sure we're going live. Takes a few minutes for everything to catch up. So where are we? It says that we're live. Let me just check. This is where I've got my Mong face on and we're live. That's it. I think
I look like that all the time.
I know. We're live. Yes, I've got it. So I'm going to give it a few minutes for anyone to kind of join us. I know we've got a couple of people watching at the minute, but happy Monday. Don't even know what day it was then. Hope everyone's okay. If you're watching this live, just throw me kind of a hashtag live in the comments. Throw me some love on the live, just so that I know what you're watching. Obviously, if anyone's got any questions afterwards, then I'll ask. I should be able to see any questions on the Facebook group, but obviously I'm doing this through live Zoom at the minute, so we're not going to see everything live. So this is the first one of our Monday live recordings, and I've dragged Kathy in with me to for a little bit of a backup on the first live, I suppose. So normally the lives are going to be trainings, and they're going to be things that you want to find out about. I'll do a poll like earlier in the week, but I thought the first one would be nice to have a chat with Kathy and just share her experience really on how she's done amazing so far. So we're on £20 loss, aren't we, at the minute, Kathy, or is it more?
No, it's 20.
20. £20 loss at the moment, and that's considering that you had a holiday, Christmas, and COVID as well, isn't it? So
yeah.
We've done really well. So obviously we've just got kind of a questions, but we're just going to keep it nice and light. Just go through a few questions, and it should be about 20 minutes in total. So how are you feeling? Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, not too bad.
Good. So the first question really would be, how did you feel before starting our online coaching? Like, what
absolutely.
were you doing and all the rest of it?
I think I was at the lowest point I've ever been in my life. I was suffering from serious depression and anxiety. I'd got several different types of medication on the go. And in terms of weight loss, I'd gained almost 5 stone in over a period of sort of 3-4 years. Obviously the lockdowns didn't do me a lot of good health-wise, mentally, but the weight gain started when I hit 50, really. Up till then I'd been able to exercise like crazy, eat sensibly, but keep the weight off. But just after 50 it just went mad, and it messed with my head. It stopped me from making any progress, and then because I wasn't making progress, I just got more and more miserable about it. And I was definitely, before we started, I was definitely in that point where I thought nothing will work. And I just felt like there was nowhere to go, really.
I can remember you being like that. I can remember our first chat when we were talking, because you started obviously on the 5-day challenge, didn't you? So
yeah.
It was very much nothing's going to work. I may as well give it a go because nothing else has worked. And it was, obviously we've known each other quite a long time. So to see you like that, it was, it was so frustrating for me as well, because I know how hard you worked in the gym and things like that, and you know, your exercise and things. So yeah, I can remember that first phone call definitely, and seeing the difference in you now from that first phone call. So what made you want to start working with me, little old me?
Well, I've stalked you on Facebook for it feels like it must be over 7 years. I've watched you doing what you do from a distance.
Yeah, at least it's a nice
Um,
stalker. I don't mind that.
yeah, but I think what struck me was that although I was going to training sessions, when you were putting your posts on, all I could ever see was the fact that you were doing this course or that course, or, you know, reading this book, and you were always putting certificates on to show that you'd passed something and that you were continuing with your journey.
Yeah.
And I think I'd gotten to this point where nothing was working, and the person and the people that I were working with had got no answers.
Yeah.
And I think that was because that continual progression for themselves hadn't been done.
Yeah.
So I think when you get in somebody who's going through menopause and is depressed and can't understand why, even though they're, you know, doing absolutely everything, nothing's working. And I wasn't getting answers. I was just getting criticism, I would say. And that it just wasn't working. And somebody who'd been at the gym I'd been going to with you, I saw you post about her, and
Yeah.
she'd been doing work with you over 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
And it had been slow and steady, but the change was just so dramatic, and she'd kept it off and I hadn't. And I just thought, you know, she knows what she's talking about. I'll give her a go.
It is right though, and you know, I know people do stay with me for short periods of time and long periods of time, but you know, I've spoken to a client tonight, and she's been with me quite a long time now, because obviously we've got that relationship and it's nice, but she's achieved her goals, and it's just nice that she still comes to me for sessions. So yeah, it's nice. It is nice that I've got them people that I work with over a short period of time, and then some that stay a bit longer as well, that continue to get results. So what was your goal when starting out then initially?
Well, just to be able to see something working. I didn't think it was going to work, and I certainly didn't think that it was going to have the impact on me that it has had. I mean, I was at the point where I couldn't even open my own front door.
Yeah.
If somebody knocked on it.
Yeah.
And now I'm out and about as normal, going to the gym, going to exercise classes, chatting to, you know, all the people in the classes, and, you know, just being, you know, I wouldn't say I'm completely back to how I was,
Yeah.
but I'm definitely 99 miles down the road to where I was when we first started this.
I love that. That makes me so happy, because obviously when we first met, you were so confident in the gym and everything, and then to have, you know, see that first call where you were a bit like defeatist and nothing's going to work, and you know, it was such a change from when I knew you first, because obviously I'd seen you in the gym and you were confident doing what you were doing, and it just shows you just the change that working with the right people, doesn't it?
Yeah, and you know, in terms of medication now, I don't take any medication anymore. All that's stopped. And
What were you
I
taking
think
medication for, if you don't mind me
for
asking?
depression and anxiety,
Right, okay.
I would have anxiety attacks at the drop of a hat. Walking around with my little bottle of CBD oil, popping it under my tongue all the time. I just couldn't, you know, couldn't get through the day really without. But yeah, it's just those 5 days where we did that 5-day challenge. that just worked.
Yeah.
And it took me by surprise, I think, at how quickly it did work.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just the fact that I was losing weight, it was the fact that I was changing the way that I thought.
Yeah.
Because of the things that you were sharing in your, you know, like your posts and the little videos that we got to watch during that period of time, it made me change the way that I allowed people to talk to me. So
Yeah.
if somebody was negative, and it might only be something really small, but if they were negative about it, I would stop the conversation and tell them, you know, I'm not listening to negative talk.
Yeah.
Everything's got to be positive from now on. And I was thinking about today, you know, and about what we were going to be talking about.
Yeah.
And I thought one of the things that strikes me as I wish I'd done it so much sooner.
Yeah.
But then I think, no, well, that's a negative thought. You're doing it now.
Yeah.
You know,
I
so
was just about to say that, but well done for saying it first.
yeah. So that whole thing about the mindset and thinking about yourself in a very different point of view
Yeah.
really helps. And some people are negative but don't realise they're doing it. And they don't do it on purpose.
Yeah.
But over Christmas, my daughter-in-law said to me, have you lost some weight? And, you know, and I said to her, I'm really pleased that you've said that, because I think on Christmas Day, I think I'd lost, I don't know, about 15 pounds.
Yeah, I think you were up to that roughly, weren't you, from Christmas? Yeah.
Yeah. And I was wearing a blouse and a pair of trousers that were in my vintage pile for selling.
Oh, yeah.
I'd been able to get them back out and I'd put them on. And obviously, because I'd changed what I was wearing something that fitted.
Yeah.
She noticed. But there were other people there who heard her say that, but didn't. There was no praise. There was no,
Yeah.
I thought you'd lost a bit of weight. And people don't realise that it does mean a lot. And
Yeah.
you know, you like that positive affirmation, I suppose. But I just do it for myself now.
Absolutely. And it is nice when people notice, but it is doing it for yourself, isn't it? And a
Yeah.
lot of people won't sing your praises because they're struggling themselves, maybe. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, not
Yeah.
jealousy. I don't want to say it's jealousy, but you know, some people will just say, oh, well, you know, you've been doing it ages now or whatever, and they'll just brush it off. And it's nice when you hear it, but it's also nice that you're not dependent on someone else giving you that outside praise, because it's when it's internal motivation that's when it keeps you going. If you're looking for praise off other people all the time, then that isn't what will keep you going ultimately, is it?
No. But I think that because the ladies on the group that we're in, because they're all so positive,
Yeah.
you know, they're listening to what I'm listening to. So
Yeah.
it doesn't matter whether somebody's had a good day or a bad day. Everybody's really positive about it, you know.
Yeah.
So you can feel really low, and I'll go on to the, you know, like the private group, and I'll just feel so much better just by looking at the fact that everybody else is, you know, feeling the same, and it's just a really nice sort of atmosphere, really. It's just like, you know, friends that you've never met.
Yeah, it is a bit like that, isn't it? And I like, because obviously, just for all the people that are watching, you did the 5-day challenge with me, which was free, and then you signed up for group coaching, didn't you? So
yeah,
we carried on kind of afterwards. We did December, didn't we? And we've done a good run of it now. So like I say, the group coaching's nice because it is like us all having a chat. And I think when we all do have a chat, it's like, oh, yeah, I've struggled with that this week. Oh, yeah, how have you dealt with that? And, you know, you bring up things that you might not have thought about when we have a chat. But yeah, so, I mean, we've probably kind of gone over these next two, because the kind of next two questions was, what are the results you've seen? But obviously we've got your amazing loss and the fact that, you know, you're feeling better in yourself and you're off medication and things like that. So I don't know how you're going to top that really with that question.
well, I was in a size 18 dress and I can get into a 16 now. I was in size 18 jeans and I can get into size 14.
Nice.
I've had to buy a new sports bra because the one that I'd got just wasn't doing the job anymore.
There's nothing worse, is there?
Going to have to go and buy some new normal bras as well. I'm just hanging on a little bit because I know I'm going to lose some more.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, these puppies take an expensive bra, so I won't wait a bit longer.
I would do.
Yeah, but just in terms of, knowing, I feel as though now I'm forming habits.
Yeah.
I had a birthday surprise meal last week. It was my son's birthday. I popped down with a card. And they went, "Oh, we're going out for tea. Do you want to come with us?" And it was not planned, not thought about, not sort of counted in on me day. And I said, so long as we eat before 8, yeah, I'll be fine. And it made no difference. I went out and I had a nice meal. I had pie and chips, and I really enjoyed it. It was lovely, and I've not put weight on. It went on, but then 2 days later, you're back down again. And that's another thing. I get on the scales now and I just go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because
you were very much, I'm weighing every day. And I need to know, weren't you, at the start? You were like quite obsessive over that initially. Weren't you, really? And, I knew you being you initially, there was no way for me to say, oh, stop doing that, because you were just going to do it anyway. But it's nice that you've done that on your own, that it's like this.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I know. And it's knowing how your body works. I've said this to a couple of clients, like if they go out with the weekend and then weigh in on a Monday, and they're like, oh, it's gone up a little bit. I said, well, your body's holding on to things. But you know that for yourself now. And that's why this is so nice about this process, isn't it? It's more, even if I do say so myself, you are learning quite a lot without it just being a diet, if that makes sense.
Yeah, we don't use the D word in this house.
Oh, yeah, okay. New lifestyle.
Yeah. I've just banned it completely.
I don't blame you.
If he ever says, I thought you were on a diet, and I'll go, no, what makes you think that? Because I'm not. We went 10 days in Tenerife in November, and I went at a particular weight, and when I came back, I was the exact same weight, and I ate, and and I did everything I wanted to do, and I had cocktails, and I could not believe that I hadn't put weight on when I got home.
Yeah.
We even talked about buying new scales because we thought they were broken, but they weren't.
They weren't. No, they weren't.
And it was, it was just being able to go, maybe not for that, but I'll have that instead. So, I did make sensible choices, but I still went hell for leather with the tapas. I think I posted loads of pictures of my food.
You're all, I'm very jealous of you when you go away. So at the moment you're doing, so just kind of a little bit of an insight for some of the other ladies, because like I said, it's not a one size fits all with the diets. So obviously from the 5-day challenge, when you did like the portion control and the intermittent fasting, you've stuck with that, haven't you? Kind of.
Yeah.
And how many things have you tried before, dare I ask?
I've done Light Alive, where I was living on 500 calories.
Yeah.
My hair fell out and my nails stopped growing.
Yeah.
I've done, you can't eat carbs. You can only eat protein and veg. I've done shakes.
Yeah.
I've starved myself.
Yeah.
And, it's just been every single one of them has been up and down and up and down, and just having the joy of being able to eat what I want to eat and having food that tastes nice and looks nice, and it's not all chicken and veg. I
say that all the time. That's why I was chuckling. I say that all the time, but go on.
Yeah, I just hate the fact of, when you look at someone's food and it's rice and chicken and veg, and I think, oh, for goodness sake, have a burger, and some chips. I bought, I don't know whether you can see it, but we've bought an air fryer.
Oh,
Oh,
they're
my
magic,
goodness.
aren't they?
I love it. It's my new best friend.
Yeah, I was trying to convince my nan earlier to get one. She was like, I don't think I'd use it. I was like, you'll
You
use
would.
it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll work on it. I think I might just buy. She was like, have you got one? I was like, yeah, that's what I used my Christmas money on last year. I was like, you
That's
actually
what
bought it me without knowing. Yeah. So what aspects of the coaching have you most enjoyed?
I think it's the fact that that you're there.
Yeah.
You know, whenever I've needed to know something, I've sent you a message, and within sort of 20, 30 minutes, I'll have a reply. I mean, even when I think you went on holiday at one point, and I was still getting information from you while you were on your holiday. And it's just that accessibility.
Yeah.
But also, it's the knowledge. It's knowing that when you say something and you talk about it, it's like when we have the meetings and we're all there and the ladies are there, and you know, somebody will say something and you'll say, oh well, there was a study, and you just think, well, yeah, she knows what she's talking about. And I think I just feel really confident because of that. And that paired with the fact that it's working, you know, that it's good. And the fact that you're not crabby about it. You know, when something doesn't go right in the past, you know, if I've had it like the meal last week, if I've had a sort of blowout like that, then I'm made to feel guilty about it. Or, you know, in the past I've been made to feel guilty. And like now I'm just, well, that was that day, and we'll just carry on and do another one, and it's onward and upward, and you know, I'll pay that back in a different way, you know. So it's just that it's completely supportive, positive, you know, it's just really nice.
Good. And have you found anything challenging?
Saying it to you.
I know, I was going to say, I'll throw you a $5 later. No, but I know what you mean as well about like other trainers that you've worked with, that I know that you've worked with, that would absolutely berate you if you've gone out and done something. Do you know what I mean? And like, obviously I've always been a social butterfly, so I can't say anything. You know, I've always gone out at the weekend and enjoyed my food and enjoyed wine or cocktails or whatever. And there should be no reason why people can't do that. But I also know, you know, there are them trainers out there that are going, oh, you know, you shouldn't be doing that. And if you were serious about your goals, you wouldn't be going out. And life is far, far too short to be able, you know, to be that person that have bought their own Tupperware. Because I've done it. I took my own dessert to my mum's pub once so that I knew how many calories I'd have in it. So, you know, it's not, I've done it before. I've been there before, definitely. So it's nice to not hear that all. You don't need to hear that, do you, at all?
No.
You know, you don't need to feel guilty for going out and enjoying your life.
And I think that's really good in the fact that you are really good on the socials. So I see what you're up to. And I see you working hard in the gym, but I also see you playing hard when you go out. And I think, well, you know, you can do it. If you're sensible about it and you think it through and you plan, then you can do that. And that's just life in general, isn't it? You know, when I've done things in the past, I've not been living. I've just been getting through. And I think I said to you last week, I'd overtrained. I'd gone back, a little bit of a mental blip. I'd gone back to every day, hammering it out, different class, not being able to walk, being in pain. And I just said, no, I'm not going there again. I don't need to do that. I do 2 spin classes a week and I walk, and I enjoy doing that. And you know, I just didn't want to go back to that. I've got to be burning 1,000 calories just so I can be a normal person. And you don't have to, because you've taught me a different way of planning and preparing. And we sit now, both of us, because he gets involved, him indoors, and we'll go out and have something to eat. And we've both got food left on our plates because we are not used to eating large amounts of food. We had 14 for Christmas dinner, and ours were the smallest dinners, and we couldn't eat it. You know, we were leaving food on our plates, and everybody else who came for Christmas lunch had eaten theirs, you know, and we were like, oh, I'm stuffed, I can't move. So yeah, it's definitely, I am learning, you know, it's a progress that I'm still going through, but I have learned some really good habits, and they're starting to be ingrained now. And you know, long may that continue.
Continue, absolutely. Yeah, there's no reason why it wouldn't either. You've done amazing. So have you found any real challenges? What's been the most challenging thing that you've come across?
I think for me, it's steps at the weekend. We're both retired, so in the week, steps and getting out and about, you know, quite easy. We care for an elderly relative, and we often walk to that care sort of situation. But on the weekend, we don't do as much walking because we'll see family and do other things at the weekend. And I suppose that's my biggest thing, is I can knock 8,000 steps out in a day normally in the week, but come the weekend I'm a bit more sedentary. So I suppose that's the one thing for me that I'm finding, you know, is I've got to put my mind to it and think it through.
But at the same time, if you're spending time with family and that's your time, you're still getting amazing results without having to do that. So you don't really need to feel like you've got to do something just for the sake of it either.
No, you're right.
Yeah, there you go. See a little bit of coaching while we're on this call as well. So what new goals do you have now?
Well, it's that getting it ingrained now, making it so that it's forever. So that's the goal now. I need to keep going. I need to keep losing weight. You know, 20 pounds isn't 5 stone that I put on. But the other thing I've made my mind up about is that I'm never getting down to that again. It's unrealistic, not healthy. So really now it's the case of, you know, that belly flap that everybody has. Like to get rid of that. And I think one thing that you have taught me is not to set too many goals. And make it so that each one is something that's achievable. So the 8,000 steps a day was one. You know, I'm really concentrating on water this week. I've got my bottle.
Well done.
Trying to spread it out in the day. You know, so it's about that for me. But yeah, if you're really going to push me on a goal, it's the belly flap.
Do you know what though? How refreshing for you not to be talking about your weight.
Oh, I know. It's mental. Yeah.
Well done you, because I know obviously straight away some people would go, right, what, another £10 off or whatever, but you're just like, I just want to feel healthy, get these habits ingrained and carry on. Like, you've not even mentioned your weight, and from like the first time when weight was such an issue for you. And like I say, you were weighing every day and you were saying, I've got to get all this weight off. And, you know, if you put half a pound on, you were like getting so upset with yourself. For you to not mention that then, I'm so proud of you. I am. Yeah, virtual pat on the back. Well done. That's perfect. So if there's anyone kind of sitting on the fence about working with me, what would you say to them?
Well, I'd say don't. You know, don't have that regret that I have got a regret that for so many years I've sat and watched and you know, looked at you from a distance and thought, maybe, you know, don't leave it till you're at your lowest point. You know, jump in there and get it done, because you know, it does work. And that's the confidence that I've got, is that if this stops working, you'll have an alternative for me, and you'll say, well, leave that, try this.
Yeah.
You know, and that's where people need to recognize that's there for them. So yeah, don't wait, just get it done.
Oh, great. Oh, that's made me like in a really good mood, that has, like, already. Like, I've got a right smile on my face. I'm so proud of you. I mean, obviously we've still got a few weeks of coaching yet, and you know, obviously if you wanted to carry on, it's there, but at the same time, you know, you're such a different person from when we started, and I'm really, really proud of you.
Well, thank you very much. I couldn't have done it without you, because I've proven that.
But we have done it now, so that's all that matters.
Yeah.
So I hope everyone's enjoyed that. I know there was a couple of ladies watching. I know some will watch on the replay. Obviously, if you've got any comments, then just throw them in the comments below if you need anything to get back to. But that's our live for this evening. So thank you very much for joining me, Kathy. It's been an absolute pleasure.
No problem.
And I'll see you in half an hour on the group coach.
Yes. Okay.
All right then. See you later. Thank you very much.
See you later. Bye.
Bye. Bye.